Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Esther here, and I am already sharing my screen. So let me know if you can see that. And also, if you can hear me well, we have Sinead as well monitoring the chat. And I can see Arvin popping in too. So today we're talking about a new feature that's really exciting. And as hopefully more people join, I'd really love this chat to be active because this is something quite interactive. But obviously, you can also, as you watch this again as the replay, you can obviously try everything out as we do. So, Skill Sparks are these quick learning sessions. The idea is that if there's a new feature, we want to show it to you guys, but also if there's an update to an existing feature that could be a game changer, that we want to show this as well. So these are quick and quite hands-on, so showing you how this actually works for you. And today we are talking about Ask Sprout, which is within your reports section. This is completely optional. Ask Sprout doesn't do anything in the background without you prompting it to do something. So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. It's also available for all plans and it's going to use your allocated Sprout credits. It is highly visual because while this is connected to your reports and your data, it's not just one simple Excel sheet or some kind of a sheet format. You can have responses in comparison tables, in charts. You can have a little summary at the top answering your question. And these are also downloadable that you can export and use somewhere else. And you can also schedule your periodic reports. So you can, I just realized I did not edit the little section at the bottom there. It still talks about the drop-in price for the event series. That's my bad. But basically, the idea with the scheduling of the reports is that you can easily recoup the same information without you needing to do anything again every month or every week or every quarter. And you can set this up. So you can easily find the data in your inbox without you again going to Ask Sprout and asking it to show you. Okay, so let's see how this is in action. I'm going to swipe over to this test page. So as mentioned, you find it under reports and analytics, and it's the Ask Sprout with the little AI logo next to it. As mentioned again, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. You can go back to the reports and you can find your different data there as well and download them from there. But here it looks like a little chat box where you can ask a question from Sprout. Now, the more detailed question you ask, the better. However, there is a little bit of a cap. I think it's 5,000 words or characters or something like that. So you might not want to go super long with your questions, but the more the merrier. And if you're not really sure about what to ask, my advice is to think of your own goals within your business you want to reach. For example, if you want a 10% revenue growth by the end of this year, you can think about, okay, what is making me achieve that? What are my strongest sessions? Who are the best teachers? Which days are the most lucrative? What sales are working well, etc., to help you achieve that goal. So you can ask those questions. So let's say your goal is growth, and we want to see which days are the most booked sessions or which days have the most booked sessions, and maybe which staff members are the highly booked as well if there's a correlation between the two. So you would just ask, as I explained, for example, which days are the most, I can't spell, but with AI sometimes that's okay. Which days are the most booked classes, or which days have would be better English. And is there a correlation? I don't think I spelled it with the staff members. Okay, and then you can just send this prompt and it's going to think about all the different juicy data that you have within your business, bringing it in all of your offerings, all of your days that have scheduled events, etc., and then answering that question for you. While it's doing that, I'm just going to check if there's anything in the chat, any interest in what you would want Sprout to answer for you. Okay. So still crunching some numbers. While it's doing so, oh, there we go. So you notice it's going to give you first a little bit of a summary of your question. So it says over the last 6 months, Monday and Tuesday are by far the busiest days at Aloha Yoga Studio. And it gives you some data why, like the 170, 106 comfort registrations. There's a clear correlation with the staff member, Jordan Lee, who drives the Tuesday peak. So they love that class taught by that staff member. Also a popular Saturday class. So you have a little bit of a summary. And then after that, you can also see it. Is this a chart? Yes, it's a chart. So you can see this, that, okay, Sunday is around between maybe 50 to 60. Yeah, 65. And then you can see the different, oh, actually the colors are the staff members. You can see the Mondays are shared between Alex and Riley. And then Tuesday, it's all Jordan Lee. He's smashing the Tuesday shift and everyone is loving him or her. And then we're going to go to Wednesday. So you can see these information really nicely laid out. So if you're a visual learner, this might be really helpful for you. And then you can also see that we have a table. So it breaks it down. So Monday with Alex Morgan, we have 90 steady registrations. Monday with Riley Chen, 80. Tuesday with Jordan, 166. So killing it. And then Wednesday, so you can really easily find the answer to your question instead of going through the sheet and trying to download it and add the numbers. Sprout will do it for you. What you can also do, you see that top right corner here, you can also download this as a PDF and you can download this as a CSV. So you have different format options as well. You can download them. You can add to a report, you can send it to maybe your business coach, etc. So you have lots of options to get this data work for you as well. This is the point of how to talk to your data, how to understand what's happening. If you want to add a follow-up question, you can also add it here. You see that we have some suggestions, but you can easily add maybe saying, okay, if I want to grow by 10%, by the end of this year, what should I or what classes should I prioritize? It's not going to give you a future plan, but from the past data, it can pick out which type of sessions or which kind of offering would work best for your goal, if that makes sense. Okay, now let me know if there are any questions regarding this, but I wanted to jump into the scheduling part. So you'll notice on the left side here, we have all the past questions that we asked. So there's an intro offer conversion. There's also a peak class times by demand. There's the top performing teachers, revenue this year versus last year, and that it does not have any data from June 2025. So it's not going to give me anything, but I could maybe then fine tune this and say, can you compare this quarter to last quarter? So you see some kind of growth or maybe differentiation between the two side by side. And then you can also ask about churn rate. Now you'll notice anytime I hover over these little questions or the separate conversations, there is a pin. So if there's something that you want to revisit and see again, you can pin it to the top. So maybe you always want to find the top performing teachers at the top because it's important to you, you want to give them feedback, etc. Then you can pin it at the top. You can also schedule one. So if I go back to that busiest class day, and then I want to say, okay, I want to know this every quarter. So every 3 months, I want to have this data recouped and reassessed to see how we're doing, if there's any kind of change. So what you could do, you see this little icon at the top, it's going to allow you to schedule this report to be analyzed without you needing to come into this section and send the prompt again every 3 months. So if I click on that little icon, I can give it a title. So it could be the growth plan or whatever you want to call it. Sorry if you feel like you're in an earthquake because I'm typing. And then you can add what you want to ask Sprout. It could be the exact same prompt that we just did. You can fine tune it if maybe you had a few more questions along the whole conversation, but you can put your question in here. And then this is where you can schedule it. So you can add a time and your time zone as well. You can decide is it daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. So I said it's every 3 months. So I'm going to change the repeat every 1 month to every 3 months. And I can also pick a specific date. So maybe I want it on the first of each month. I want to have the data collected for the previous 3 months. And then you can also add a schedule to it to end at a certain time. So if this is maybe specific for this year, I might want to end this on the 31st of December, or maybe the 1st of January could be the right one because we want to send it to us on the 1st. Okay, I unclicked it. Okay, let me go back. All right, so then we'll get the final data as well. Okay, maybe I have to change it, but well, the best part of this is that you can actually add this to your inbox so you can send it to yourself. Or if again you have a business coach or you're working with someone or you have a staff member who's doing this for you, you can send this to multiple people. So you can put your own email here. So let's put mine that you want to send it to this person, and you can add another one. So you can list anyone you want to know this data, you can send it to. It's the same, for example, with your staff ones. Maybe you want to share it with your staff members. You don't have to manually email them or message them. Every month, they can basically get a performance review by Sprout as well. And then you can also choose to skip email when there's no data. So let's say there's nothing changed or there's no update, then you wouldn't get an email. And you can also compare it to your prior period. So let's say if I'm getting the 3-month update for this block, it will compare it to the previous 3 months. So you can also see if there is actually a growth or there's some kind of differences between the two sets of data. And I can just simply schedule. And then you'll notice that it'll have that little icon next to the pinned or the pinnable little icon that it is a scheduled. And if you hover over it, it tells you when or how it's scheduled as well. But you also notice at the top here, you have the past questions and you have all the scheduled reports here. You'll see if they are active. And then also you can click onto them and then you see the details of each. You can also edit them. So you can edit how often you want to receive these. It will bring up that same kind of schedule page. Or maybe you want to add another person or remove someone from receiving it. You can also pause it. You could say, nope, I don't really want this to be received again, or you're working on something else, so this data is not really helping you at this stage. You can also pause, and obviously you can also delete. So this is how you can work with Sprout. You can ask as many questions as you want. As we mentioned, it is using your Sprout credit. So I am at the 91% of my threshold, so I use quite a lot. So you have to calculate that in as well, that it will require you to be smart with the credits as well. So maybe you prioritize one type of report to be always scheduled and it's really important to you, and all the other ones could be the extra add-ons. Okay, that was my quick overview. Are there any questions regarding Sprout? Thinking of what you made? Yes, so the credits do reset every month. You can always find the details for that under your own, I think it's on your own account. And then you go to billing and then you'll see the Sprout. You can also add on. So you can change your plan if you want to. If you notice that maybe you're working on something and you want to have a little bit more data collected for you and it's important to you that it's quick and you don't have to spend hours figuring it out, then you can also upgrade your credits and find the details for that. If you're not using them and you're just basic questions, probably the one that you are on might be available as well. Okay, any other questions?
I have one for you, Esther.
Yeah.
So it had come through in the OfferingTree co-op from one of our studios. The main topic that everyone's talking about right now is schedules, trimming your schedule, looking at what classes work well. And Kay had posted a prompt that she shared which was
Okay.
about figuring out the most popular date and time for a yoga class, which I just thought was. So I don't know if you want
Mm,
to run that.
yeah.
I can drop it in the chat and you just need
Okay.
to add in, because I don't know what kind of classes are set up on the system on the site that you're using. So
Yeah.
the name of the class, she'd used the name of the class and then compared it back, and she was just blown
Oh,
away by
okay.
what
So
she was able to
specific
learn.
name we're looking for.
Yeah,
Okay, so I want to know which is the most popular day of in time for okay. So let's just quickly we could ask this. We could also ask it to run it for all of the classes. So
yeah.
you could see instead of a specific one, but you could for all classes, day and time for all classes, make a chart comparing class attendance over the last year for each. Maybe I'll put that there.
And
Does,
removing the
does that
staff
make
membership was a big thing for our studio owners because they're like, this out of there. How do we let staff come to classes and then
Yes.
count them in the
I don't
attendance?
know if this has a membership, this test site has a
Yeah,
membership, but it might tell us that we didn't find a membership. Okay, so let's see if this, you can ask anything. And again, if your first question wasn't like what you're looking for, you can fine tune it and you can have a follow-up question. But I always like to think of it as I explained that, okay, what are your goals and what do you think is contributing to that goal or what is happening within your business and how can maybe actual numbers back this up? So why is this happening? So it could be, let's say you were running a sale, you were running a package sale for a period of time, and you want to see how many bought it and how many of those who bought that sale item then converted to another package or membership. So then, if you're thinking of running another sale, you can decide, is this really a lucrative way for me to get more clients into my business, or is there another way? So you can really see the numbers of if you're spending so many hours creating a sale item and then it's not really converting long time members, then maybe you're not focusing so much on creating this sale item, but creating something else instead that might bring in a little bit more for your business. Okay, and by the way, we were testing this with Armin. When there's a time, like it might take a while for it to answer, you're able to click away or maybe go to another page. You can open up another one and then you can, let's say I open up the offerings page and then you can come back to it and then it will do it in the background. So you don't have to stare at it thinking, but it's there for you. I think I'm a little bit cautious stepping away, but I think even if I would go into another one now, it would bring it back because we did this, then we refreshed the page and it was all there. So once you ask a prompt, it shouldn't, it basically automatically saves it for you because it's thinking in the background and looking for that data. Should we test it? Good. Okay. I love that it's always giving you a little bit of a following of the data trail, finding the answers. Okay, while we're waiting for this, I really want to hear for those who are here, have you started using AskBrat? Have you noticed that it's in your features or are you into your reports? I have to be honest, when I was running my studio for a while, I was a bit scared looking at the numbers because I was worried that they're not showing the same kind of enthusiasm that I was for running my business. But that they are really important. And actually, when I was at the point of selling my studio and I had to go back and look at all the different things I've done, I realized how well something performed and I just stopped doing it because I thought no one wanted it. But actually, it performed so well. So I should have kept it on the schedule, but I wasn't looking into that data.
yeah, that's something one of our studios flagged last week on a coaching call as well, was how scared they were to look and actually how good it was to look because it was much better than they thought it was going to be. So they got a little boost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes you think, oh, it's not going well, and then actually the numbers are there that it's doing magic for your business. Okay, it's taking a while. I kind of want to test if I step away and come back, but then also don't want to scare myself in the live.
I know, and every second in a life is like 10.
Yeah. And also, if there are any questions.
A whole year's worth of data.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
Arvin was mentioning that we're looking at a whole year's worth of data, so that's why it's taking a while. Again, yeah, the more details it has to run through, obviously it takes a little bit longer time. Maybe again, if you're fine tune it, and I could have said that only look at the past 3 months, then it would have been faster because it knows that it has a limit instead of every single class we've ever run and every type of offering we ever created. Let me see how many offerings there are that it's trying to see. So yeah, there are quite a few offerings, 12 that are published.
Sprout is running a marathon right now
Exactly.
for
And
us.
it's just a little treat. It's a little sprout. Okay, not there yet. And also, let's see, maybe it's thinking about memberships. We have, so we have a monthly, annual, and Sadhana. Hopefully I said that right. Membership. So we don't have a staff membership. So maybe that's why it's having a little bit of a thinking moment. What do I mean by staff membership? Because we have 10 class, 20. Okay.
And Arvin says, I'd also add that when it produces a table result, you can hover over the table and download the data.
Yes. Did I not show that one? Oh, we had a little timed out request. So as you notice, if this happens, your prompt stays within the chat box, like it didn't send away. So you can send it again. Sometimes that resolves the problem. I also wonder if because I'm so close to my credit usage, that the way it's thinking, it's needing a little bit more than what I have available. So let me just add the past 3 months. So just, I don't want to look at maybe all of the things, but just the past 3 months. Maybe this will give it a little bit more. Oh, okay. So didn't like that one. So let me just show in the meantime. So is it this table that you mentioned? We can download this data here as well. And also if it's a chart, you can look at all the different things too. Let me just refresh. Okay, so it seems like it did the calculations, but I've used all of my credits. So I think that's why that we had that little glitch. It was trying to tell me that you don't have enough credits for this big question, but it gave me something. So over the last year, Tuesday 9 a.m. is the most popular class slot with 95 confirmed registrations. Monday 7 a.m. is the next, and then Saturday 8 a.m. So staff members attending on their staff benefit have been excluded. So runs 10 district class slots across the week. Okay, and then we can also see this here, confirmed attendance by day and time. So you can see this, which classes and times are working. So Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. It did not bring in the offering title, but you can also ask it, can you also put the Sunday 10 a.m. class, what offering card is used for that one? And then you'll have that data, but I've used all of my credits, which probably wasn't smart that I did not update before this tutorial. You live and learn. If this happens, maybe you upgrade it. If not, then maybe you wait till it recycles again for the next billing month. All right. Okay, so this is basically how you use it. Even if you feel like there's a glitch, it still does it for you, but it will tell you that you've gone over your limit, or maybe there's not enough information for that to pull the data in, or etc. Or it's really thinking about it. Because if you had a business for 10 years and you're asking for a full-time 10-year breakdown, then yeah, it will have a little bit of thinking time for it. Obviously, it's all new. So if you are noticing any kind of, I don't want to say glitches, but anything that's not quite right, you can always put this. And I know it sounds terrible that you're giving us a thumbs down, but what you could do with this, you can actually tell what happened and it helps us figure out how to make it better. So it's not actually a negative thing like, oh, I hate this, but more, oh, it's not quite what I asked, or it ran into a snag again, or something happened that made it not work halfway through. And then if you submit that feedback, we'll see it, and that helps us make this better in the future. So hopefully that won't happen again. So don't feel bad sending us that. If you love the results, we also would love the thumb up. So you can always send that, yes, I love this, that it happened in 2 seconds, or I found out the information that I used to look for all the time in the reports here, searching as well. There's lots of great benefits for this one. I was thinking that every month you can look into your intro offer conversion rate and who did not convert. You can create your segments for that, and then you can also email them or tag them. You can reach out manually. You can send it to your admin person if it's a scheduled one and ask them to reach out manually to these people. So you can do lots of different things as well. Really cool tool. And if you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to us and we can help.
That is awesome. Thank you, Esther.
No
Thanks to
worries.
everyone that was here live as well.